Damn, bad, sad Chad episode. I said 17 earlier, but it might be 18. Anyways, who gives a fuck? It's live. It'll be out tomorrow. Who knows if you're tuning in? Look, we come here each week to debate all things that Chad does stupid, which is, I mean, come on, it's every day now that MLC records every day, and much more within the last week too. And I gotta say, there's really not a lot of big news out there, and that would anybody really gives a shit about that would care. I mean, we got our own fucking problems. I mean, just look, Kevin Dumbfuck joins us, Stevie Lou's here. I mean, everybody has been after us on Twitter. And who cares? What, do they have no time in the day? I don't understand. But listen, I mean, you had a problem, Stevie, with Chad saying something this week about some shooting.
Oh man, we're gonna go right to that.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. That's just the show, dude.
Well, okay, sure. Let me do a little background, I guess, to maybe set the scene. Also, hello guys. I was off on break last week. Great time. Being away, but I'm glad to be back. I also wanted to say that, like, coming back, I feel like this is more like a celebration of Chad's life. You know, it's not like a debate on is Chad a shitty person or not. We know what that answer is.
Right.
You know, so let's more focus on just a celebration of life of one Chad Anthony Zumach. So let's get to it today.
Well, it's funny. It is funny you say that. I hate to cut you off because, like, I did Ray DeVito's podcast last weekend. And, I mean, I caught myself softening up a little bit on the old chattel, to be honest with you. I mean, like you say, I agree. I think we're past the point of we know what he is. You know, now it's just when we see something's done or, you know, something wild, of course we'll cover it. But why just cover the little shit that everybody knows is going to happen? You know?
Yeah, we'll cover it or make fun of it, one or the other.
Yeah, and it's all hilarious.
Speaking of Ray DeVito, I want to give a shout out. He did his first show on the Shuli Network today.
Right.
Congratulations to our buddy Ray DeVito. And it was cool. It was his first episode. He's been doing his show for a long time. A lot of like people have been really supporting him really strongly for the past couple of years behind the scenes. So for his first episode, do you know who he had as a guest?
I think, who did he get, Levy?
He got two random people who I've never heard of, that he's never ever had any association with whatsoever, to come on to be the big premiere.
Good.
Yeah, that's sound reasoning.
I don't know, man. I say it's not. I mean, that's something I would do just because. I don't know. It depends. If you're friends with the guys like Shuli and Bob, and you know the guys, and you know you got a spot, yeah, do your show because maybe he's making it a little bit different. You know, not just having like some guy they expect, you know.
Right.
But then again, if I'm wrong, it's a total Ray move. I mean, Ray is just that, you know.
Listen,
I love him to death.
I'm gonna break Ray's balls whenever I get the chance. Let's be really honest here. That's all.
Somebody has to do it. I mean,
and listen, he had.
It's too easy.
Let's bring it back to where we were. Our buddy Chad and Ray were on live at the same time today, actually, which is not always common. And I want to say, from what I saw, I was busy today, but it looked like they were pretty close to live viewers. I'm sure someone in the chat or whoever's listening out there would give us a confirmation of that. But I think Ray was around 83 and Chad might have been around 95 or so, you know? So I think Chad had him beat by just a few viewers, you know? And this is one thing that Chad's always harped on, that he's so much better than Ray, and Ray's a shit comic and a no good fucking dude. Ray's a sweetheart, a good comic, and people are going to really take to that a lot quicker than this negativity spewing that Chad's doing.
Yeah. I mean, and then even some of our own episodes were kind of like more negative based because that's the way this whole show was started. But I mean, you know, but like you say, Ray's he's the nicest guy in the world, and Sweetie's funny comic. So when Chad starts saying, oh, he sucks, you know, he's a piece of shit, that's when you're kind of like, all right, is this whole thing a bit? Like, because you can't really sit there and say that about Ray and actually mean it. You know what I mean? It's just like...
Chad was saying that about Ray? I thought Chad and Ray were like buddies.
So does everybody.
Hold on. Kevin, that's a good point. Chad and Ray used to be very good buddies. They're both from the same area. They both came up around the same time.
They started comedy on the same day.
Right. We all do famously know that. Fucking Ray doesn't stop saying that every time Chad comes up. I love that.
Well, Chad used to say it. That's the thing. Is Chad used to say it.
Was it Ray that thought they were still friends, but Chad thought otherwise?
That sounds right. I can't confirm or deny, but that sounds like a Ray thing. Because Ray's just so nice. He
Yeah.
like doesn't get it that it's not happening no more between him and Ray. But hey, like that's a friend of Ray, friend of Chad's. You guys had the incredible Earl Skakel on
That was
last
fun.
week. Much better man than his Wi-Fi. I gotta say, and
Yeah,
like
rough.
he hit me up after. He was like, "Oh, tell the boys I said sorry about my
Yeah, he did
Wi-Fi,"
too.
and I was like, "Dude, it was actually hilarious to have them deal with that shit, you know." And he's such a great guest that even only if 75% of the word are coming through out of his mouth on air, it's fine. You know, he's
Yeah.
a good guy. So
That's one of
but
those guys,
So we're
too,
trying to get
you
hit.
know.
We had and then me and Ski were talking off air about trying to get more of Chad's friends on because we're not trying to just sit here and be just complete ass clown dickheads
Yeah.
with no fucking plan here.
That's what
We
most
wanna-
of these shows are. It's just like people, you know, like if you listen to the Compound Cucks, speaking of which, it's got a new logo, not featuring yours
Yeah,
truly.
Wait, no, hold on.
They
Let's
took him-
put
they took him
a
out.
pin in that. Put a pin in that. Keep going. What we were saying. I want to go back to that.
We will, trust me. I mean, you know, most of these shows, especially Compound Cucks, Chad's new show, it's just, Chad, you know, Steel Toe sucks. Everything sucks. Look at this song. It sucks. This joke. It sucks. This blows. It's no good. You know, you're a washout. Listen, I sell more tickets than Chrissy and Gino combined. And, you know, I'm passed at more clubs in New York City. Damn it, dude. I can't do the voice this week. I think that's I drank coffee, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I put out an open invitation, kind of like jokingly today to Chad that he's welcome on Sad Chad if he ever had the balls.
He's
to
scared.
come on. I don't think he has the balls to come on. You're right. We're gonna try to reach out to Tony Mazer if he wants to come on. You know, and we're not gonna sit here and fucking like sabotage shit. We're not gonna sneak attack these dudes. We want them to come on. Like Earl, that was the first thing when I said, "Hey Earl, can you come on Sad Chad?" He was like, "You know, I'm friends with Chad, and I'm not gonna fucking do any." I was like, "No, don't worry, buddy. Like, we just wanted you to come on. I
Right.
think that's a good thing that we're doing here, trying to show some counterpoint to the constant negativity that we could be spewing."
Yeah, and then you know, like this week was boring because Chad's just focusing. And I know you listen to Steel Toe. Like I catch some clips if I'm interested in something, but it's really not for me. You know, and I'm not saying it's a bad show at all. I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea. Just like a lot of things aren't. You know, cock. And so
beg
when
to
Chad's
differ on this one.
like going into all the Steel Toe stuff, I really don't know the backstory. That's why I couldn't do a whole lot of.
Let's not
you
really
know.
talk too much about what he's doing right now to Steel Toe because I think that is so over the line that's gonna rectify itself some way, one way or another. And I'm not saying like legally because that's the fucking stupidest thing ever. And again, we're getting into the weeds with all that, which we can leave out of here. Let's just get to the more fun stuff. So like I said, let's leave that specific details about what's going on out as a
Yeah, I mean,
courtesy
everybody
to
knows,
Steel
so
Toe.
it's
Everybody
no-
knows,
it's, you know.
but I'm just not the kind of person who wants to
No,
signal,
fuck no,
signal
dude. Yeah.
blast. That's
And
what it is.
I highly doubt, besides a couple of those people who never leave their house, anyone agrees with the.
Yeah,
the
and let me say
actions being
this
taken.
really quick. I mean, this is also kind of cryptic, but whatever. Like, if people want to go buy a book, you know what I mean? Like, if they think that's a way that they're trolling someone, I'm actually kind of okay with the book buying thing, you know. But anything outside of just buying a book and moving on with your life,
Agreed,
is
yeah.
fucking moronic and really shameful and despicable. But hey, listen, I've done some stupid things in my day.
Same.
So okay, let's get fast forward to what you had teased there before. So some of the folks out there are wrestling fans. I know Ski Mask, you can't stand wrestling.
I like Stone Cold.
You're in Austin. You're a Texas boy. So
I just
you're
like
an
his
Austin guy.
beer drinking stuff. I wish that never went away.
What?
Yeah,
what?
I mean, not really even that. Like, just when he drove the beer truck and like how over the top it was. When he's in the grocery store with Booker T.
I was thinking actually, and I saw Bobby Nick was asking me in the chat which film I was on. I'm working on a new film called Bring on the Damned from Trauma Entertainment. It's a anthology film that we're working on. 5 different stories we're midway through right now. But as a guy who works in special effects and the art department, so like any sort of scenery, decoration, prop stuff, I was thinking the other day, how the fuck did they blow that? Like, what was that coming out of that hose? How did they hook that hose? Like, they must have took a fire truck and retrofitted it to look like a beer truck and then used just some sort of foam. It's like, from a guy who's done all sorts of weird tricks.
It's just a pump. It's literally just a pump.
Do you remember that spray? He
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
knocked
no,
him off
you
his
you
ass.
can control that shit from a battery.
Which is like a
It's the
sump
same-
pump? Just a
when I
really
worked
strong sump
offshore,
pump?
yeah, when I worked offshore, it was
Gotcha.
the same thing. Like those
This is why we
refrigerated
have
trucks
you
and
on
stuff
here,
had
bud,
tanks.
because you can fucking
Just in case all the power goes out, you could fucking run it with a small generator or whatever. You know, there's so much noise in there, you're never going to hear it. Yeah, and it's easy to pump that much force to that shit.
Again, there's this famous...
It's kind of like my penis, Stevie, to be honest with you.
All right.
That's how I know that. I just made
it can handle a heavy load. I get it. If your power's out even.
Run nice on a generator.
Yeah.
So what I was trying to get at.
Wow, a penis joke from Ski Mask. Wow, they're reviewing me, really? Wow.
All right. So what I was trying to get at is there's this concept of things either being a work or a shoot. Okay, and even if you're a casual wrestling fan, you should know that. If you don't know nothing about wrestling at all, let me explain it to you. A work is like a bit, where like the Iron Sheik is gonna fight Sergeant Slaughter in the ring, and one is representing Iran and the other is representing the U.S. and there's a real hatred between these two countries. That's a work. Whereas if two wrestlers don't really like each other and they match up in the ring, there's what's called a shoot, where these guys actually start not pulling their punches and they start intentionally trying to injure each other in the ring. So like there's this famous phrase that you might work yourself into a shoot sometimes, which means that it starts off as a bit and then it turns into a real fight. Kind of like the last episode of the Hughesy show, if you want to use a real life
I know people
example
are wanting to know about that.
So let's get to that, another pin in that. We got two pins that we're looking at, but let's just get to this thing. So listening to today's episode of Sad Chat, I just wanted to do a quick little check. I'm not obsessed with this guy, following him through Reddit like he wants to say. I just took a quick tune in, and within the first 5 minutes, Chad has trouble with this concept of a shoot and a work, and we took the audio out for you folks to play. So.
Oh my god. So yeah, I honestly I didn't listen to this. So let's see what it is.
Puffy nipples, because guess what? That's what the show's about. The emergency show today is about this fuck, and it's not even a shoot. It's not even
a shoot.
So, okay, he's saying that it's not even a shoot, because a shoot would be like he really is fighting with this guy. If you think of like shoot fighting as an old school term for like pit fighters, you know what I mean? Like you go to shoot someone's legs, that's like a grappling technique, so I think that's where the term comes from. It's a shoot, So he's saying that it's not a shoot right now.
Yeah.
But now play forward.
Puffy nipples, because guess what? That's what the show's about. The emergency show today is about this fuck. And it's not even a shoot. It's not even like, I'll help you, you help me. We genuinely don't like each other. He came at me, and now it's personal on both sides. He thought he can get away with all this
That's it. Once again.
God.
He so has it backwards. And it's like, he's not a shoot. This is actually personal. It's like, oh, what? God. And I'm like, honestly, okay, Chad, let me help you with this definition. A shoot is something you should do to your fucking head with a shotgun and take us all out of this misery. Does that help maybe settle
but then I don't have a show.
Confusion? No, doesn't, Kevin? I'm sorry.
I don't think so. It adds another layer of confusion to him.
Right. Now, this is also like a film that I'm working on. That wasn't a real life wish of self-harm.
Yeah,
if anybody's watching
we're
at
talking
home
about the film, because he even said
I'm
it
talking
on
about a film that I'd like
MLC,
to make where he shoots himself.
Right.
Snuff film.
But then again, like, so with this fucking, what was it? That was his emergency Patreon hours after he had released a different Patreon video attacking Steel Toe. So like I was saying the other day to Ray even, I'm like, everything he's doing, whether it's a bit or not, it just feels rushed. Like the minute he gets some information, he's like a fucking kid with candy. He can't wait just to put it out there. And some of his posts are just, they suck. They've never left Minnesota. Who cares? You've lived all over the place and haven't been able to make it. And you want to judge somebody for not leaving Minnesota? Maybe they fucking like it there and know people who like them. Who's to say that, you see one video clip of someone getting attacked and all of a sudden no one likes them? Dude, I'm sorry, but they get more views than you, Chad. And that's for damn good reason. Whether it's content or no content, they still get more views. You get nothing. Your Patreon numbers don't move until now when you're with MLC, and that's you've had what 100 patrons for how long?
Okay, let's again. We're gonna be fair. He's had a slight bump in his Patreon recently. I think, and now I'm not going to try to be a nerd and not do funny things and just say facts, but he did add a lower level. He added a $3 tier, so
Oh, I can
shout
drop
out.
down.
That's a smart business move on Chad's behalf. I doubt it was his idea to do that. Apparently he does have some producers trying to help him, you know what I mean, they're terrible.
Well,
you should get
like,
you should get a real producer,
I heard they're
That's
overweight.
fucking
Do you know who
slob.
they
All right,
are?
listen. Let's take it easy.
I am saying the word on
Only
the
we've
street.
seen that picture. Not everybody's seen that picture. So let's just kill that also, because that person is just fucking,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, he needs some production help for sure. Everything is rushed. I mean, dude, I hate to. This is gonna drive him crazy if that person does clip this to and send this to him, bro. If you listen,
He's watching now.
Yeah, she's one of the 38. Thank you, folks. Numbers are kind of low
He's watching
today.
too.
I guess it's Earl was helping us out last week, and now I suck. I get it, but no. All right, sorry. Fuck. Now I'm lost. No. Okay. Yeah, he needs some help with his production, and because honestly, right now, his Sad Chad and these emergency episodes, they sound like early Ski Mask episodes. They sound like Ski Mask Collective episode 4 and 5. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you were just first getting into this, and you were a fucking little pipsqueak running around burning shirts and shitting in your tub and
Having a
upper
blast.
deckers and shit like that, and getting naked and shit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but you guys were doing fun. That you weren't just screaming.
Well, it wasn't.
Well,
we
you were
were just
screaming
saying
the N-word,
this.
but-
Someone sucks and they can't. We were just doing what we thought was goofy and funny, and people latched onto it. And I kind of wish those creative ideas were still there. And that's what I mean about the whole thing being Russ. It's like, yeah, would I like to do shit like that? Sure. Am I just gonna go do it for the fuck of it? No. So like these emergency episodes and these like Kumia Cooks every Sunday. It's like we do this every Thursday whether we talk Chad or not. The name of the show is Sad Chad. We got a regular podcast because there's always going to be something to talk about with him. Is there always going to be something to talk about with us? Who knows and who cares? He's on MLC until that ends. I mean, think about it. If he wasn't on MLC, would we really give a fuck? No. So it's just like not even that we.
Yeah, there was kind of a lull to the Ski Mask shows there when he took a break. You guys ended up going on and being more creative because of that.
That's because I was fucking drinking heavily.
You were drinking as well.
I didn't give a fuck about the show. I was just like, let's go live, and then I would just put episode 135 with no description, no title, no thumbnail, and just release it and be like, here it is. Like people are just like, I wouldn't click on that.
Shit, Sad Chad 7, you were blacking out when Carl was on the air with us.
Yeah, I
And
don't remember.
Dude,
that was my first time on. That was fun.
yeah. Carl still brings that shit up, man. You traumatized him, and he's seen a lot of shit. I think that guy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
left to go take a call from a doctor, and just completely like as soon as he came on, he's like, "All right, well, what are we doing?"
My bad, boys. But hey, we all do
Hey.
dumb shit, and I'm not saying what Chad does is bad. It's just look, we're here to critique, and people want to hear the critiques. Speaking of critiques, look, there's only so much shit to do with fucking little chattel. We have our own problems. Stevie, everyone wants to know what the fuck happened on the Hughesy podcast.
Yeah, I feel like I owe you guys the first exclusive. I was on BYB. Shout out to the BYB podcast.
Yeah.
We love those guys. They are officially our boys, and we
guys
are
rule.
in the BYB business.
Yeah.
I actually have a little side note on Tuesday around 7:30. I would just keep your eyes out for the BYB podcast channel to maybe be going live with a surprise brand new show that has not been announced and will not be announced until it goes live. So
Sick.
that's going to be some fun stuff that I'd like to just kind of put a teaser out for. I'll tell you boys, but for the folks out there at home.
How many people are you gonna have on the screen at once?
We will
25?
talk about all this after the show if you want. I will not hold you guys back from the information. I just want to keep it like a fun thing. Super surprise coming. BYB boys.
They like the package.
But yeah, so I was on the BYB boys after that thing went down because Husey doesn't do live. He pre-records.
Yeah.
And there was no information going out yet, but I even I was trying to be chill about it. I told Brandon, I was like, hey man, me and Gino just kind of had a fucking blow up on this other show. And he was like, what? You know what I mean? Me and Brandon have like a fucking thing. We're bros. I'll chat him and everything. And we'll talk about what's going on the side. And I was like, oh, listen, I can't really talk about it right now on your guys' show, but I just wanted you to know that there was a thing. And it's not even that big of a deal. But yeah, I'll give you guys the exclusive. I went on Husey's show. Husey and I have now created a new sort of allegiance, I guess. He had me on to do Jim Florentine's episode recently, and he hit me up and he was like, "You don't have any problems with Gino, do you?" This is before the show. Yeah. Like a fucking
not right
Irish,
now, really.
like a fucking Irish witch. He's a fucking Irish witch, I tell you. So he knew something apparently, because I did not have any problems whatsoever with Gino Bisconti leading up to that. As a matter of fact, I had texted him Sunday night about something silly, and we were like laughing on text. So the next day is when that happened. So there is no underlying issue between me and Gino Bisconti. All it was is that he was being a super cunt. Yeah. I was being a pretty big cunt as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? So he was.
It was the both of you. I mean, it was one of those things that happened out of the blue, you know. And you could tend, like, I listened to it for the first time today, to be honest with you, because I finally had time to sit and listen, and you could feel the build up beforehand, especially knowing what was going to happen. I could kind of pick up on like the tension on both sides. Yeah. And, you know, I do want to say one thing. I don't agree with everything Carl says, but he said something today. I'm just saying I don't, but, like, I like Carl, you know.
Yes.
We both have our different styles.
We all like Carl.
But he said something, was it Carl? Fuck, who said it? I think it was Carl.
On the Gino episode?
Yeah, I think it was after you left. Yeah, it was Carl. No, it was Carl's friend, Chad. I don't know. Somebody said it.
There was the other guy on there. There was another guy, and I'm really sorry, the other guy.
Chad something. I don't know.
You're right. It was a Chad name.
But yeah, I felt the same. He said it perfectly. Hughesy was treated unfairly on MLC. I'll say it right now. And it was especially coming from Chad's side. Hughesy's a funny motherfucker on a podcast. I've yet to meet him in real life. I can't wait. But he's one of those guys who's just in the chamber, and you have him there, and they were like stepping on everything he was saying, and I don't think he got a fair shot. And Chad seemed like he was a little drunk in that episode, and like you can always tell when
that got Kevin Dumbfuck's attention right there. He said,
you could tell
someone else was drunk. Oh, good.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be sober.
Yeah, I mean, but you could tell because when someone else is funnier than him on the show, which is, I mean, almost every guest, you know, he starts coming out with the mean shit. You know, it's like when the minute the attention gets taken off of Chad, he's got to start attacking that person. And Hughesy was trying his best to be funny.
Yeah, that was a fucked up episode. Go ahead, Kevin. Go ahead. You're first.
The point. Hughesy does have a very certain kind of humor. So
but they know that. They've both done his show. He's been on before and killed.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, it's, you know, like certain people, it's very polarizing. I think it's like you either hate it or love it.
Right.
I love it. I think Hughesy's funny as shit, but it's like a tongue-in-cheek kind of like, you know, slapstick kind of funny shit that he does. So,
really quick tech note. Kevin, do you have your noise cancellation on by any chance? I know you have headphones and everything, but every time you start to talk, it gets muffled. So just check and see if that's happening. Sorry about that, buddy. Good point. Very good point.
Echo cancellation is off.
Yeah, I just turn it off.
Turn it on or off?
Oh fuck! What did I do?
Did you turn mine off?
All right, you sound better now, buddy.
Better now?
I hear myself twice.
Hold on.
It's because he's using a soundboard.
All right. Well,
how about
never
now?
mind. Go back to your old way.
How about now?
Fuck this show.
Yeah.
You're better now?
Yes, sir. Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
there you go.
I just didn't want you to get muffled for the rest of the show.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
I'd rather stop.
I got something you can muffle.
Oh,
no.
Your dick again, Bo?
Present.
That was
Present.
Sullivan's like a couple months ago. I thought I muffled
Dude, that was awesome.
I muffled it.
Thank God it wasn't too hot outside.
All right, so what the fuck? Okay, so Hughesy. Yeah, so I want to just put something on that. Is that was a really weird episode where there was a lot of this Leslie Jones talk, which fucked up Kevin really bad. He thought that he was going to get a show taken down by just the utterance of the word Leslie Jones, which honestly, I don't know if that was 100% real, old man not knowing the internet or him being funny. If it was
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both, I was going to say. Yeah.
Kevin really knows how to run with shit because he could tell it was like setting the mood kind of towards the way Kevin would want it, in my opinion.
But it kind of ended up railroading Hughesy, that poor boy.
Well, yeah, because I mean, after he'd been stepped on so many times, he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna double down," which I thought was great.
So, if you want to again go listen to this week's episode of Hey, It's Hughesy, hello. I feel like there was a bit of a similar situation where I was getting needled a little bit, you know, and I was punching back, but not too hard, and then I kind of hit my East Side Dave breaking the desk point, you know, and
you could tell the tone in your voice shifted, man. And
Yes,
then I think Gino caught that, and then that's what like said. I don't know if he was.
I went back and I only listened to it once because I was so embarrassed. I don't like my emotions, you know, bubbling.
Oh yeah,
over.
but it wasn't bad at all.
But just understand I don't like listening to myself in general. But
then again, I know
that,
you guys, so it's different.
Right,
you know?
exactly. But I got kind of embarrassed myself, and I can also identify the moment where I actually don't really remember like clearly what exactly was happening because I was seeing red and I was ready to fucking split someone's head through a computer screen, which is so
Isn't
stupid.
that the worst on a podcast?
And it's a friend too, because I would never lay a finger on Gino Bisconti. You know what I mean? It would take a fucking cold day in hell for that to happen. As a matter of fact, man, not to break down the fourth wall or whatever, but when a certain someone was kind of maybe making veiled threats about Gino, that he was going to come in and maybe do something, which I think was also a misinterpretation. Fucking Gino called me on the phone first thing and said, "Hey, buddy, like I need someone to kind of look out for me this day." And I said yes right away. So that just goes to show you that, that's how much of a friend that Gino is that I'd, absolutely take his security into, severe, serious consideration, because that's a friend. It's not someone I just know through a podcast, which was something that he brought up that kind of pissed me off.
That was weird for me too. Like I didn't, because I'm like, he should have known. Like we've all hung out at secret shows, we've been on shows together, and hanging out at a secret show, you're hanging out. It's not being at a club, And
again, not trying to be a fucking Zumach here, but fucking me and Levy and I were texting late last night about that sort of thing, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, just so you know, like something happened with me and Gino, and it kind of involved you, but I don't want to bring anything up anymore. I mean, besides this, but like me and Gino." Oh, and let me spoiler alert: I ended up seeing Gino the next day because Stancil was in town for the day at Compound, so I went up and said hello to Stancil, and Gino was there at Sullivan's, and first thing we did was hug it out, and both mutually apologized for being pricks.
Last time I saw Gino, I think it was I was doing his show, and I was like, "Oh, can we unblock each other on Twitter now?" And when we were both like, we were drinking, and we sat there for a good 5 minutes and tried to figure out why we had each other blocked, and none of us could think of the reason.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I kind of got under his skin there. And to me, I was like, if I can get under Gino's skin, who gets under everyone's skin, I was like, what does that say? Is that a good thing or a bad thing about me? Very existential sort of question.
I'd say as a comedian, that's a good thing.
Thanks, Kevin. I mean, listen, I've gotten some good response. Like, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, I get people reaching out to me on the DMs elsewhere saying, "Dude, that was great. Thank you for that. That was so much fun." Husey even, that was like, I texted him right after. I was like, "Hey man, I'm sorry about what happened there." And he was like, "What are you talking about? That was incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you."
Yeah, no,
Husey knows. He knows what he
So there's two things that happens. A couple of people come out of the woodwork and I see a few follows and a few, that's awesome, cool. And then the trolls.
Of course.
The 5 or 6 trolls that have been on my fucking hater bandwagon for fucking 2 years now start losing it. They start losing it. You know what I mean? They start tweeting crazy. I don't even really. I kind of give, like, Kevin, I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying to be a positive dude and not bring that shit into my life too much. But when people are maybe talking about you, you do kind of open up the burner. You
don't think I know about that? You don't think I know about that?
True, yeah.
This is a great segue, Kev.
Think I know about that? Yeah, trying to keep a positive, view on a pissy situation.
Yeah, the only thing positive is your drug test.
I love your attitude today, buddy.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, thank you. I don't think my attitude's been any different the whole time. I've just been accepting it and just moving on.
That's
okay. Before we get into the next subject, people, I would like Stevie Lude to please give us a disclaimer, because we need a witness on the stand here before we get into our next.
Yes, sir.
Here.
Can I address a comment? Junior Coltrane. I am not trans, and this is a real beard.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was gonna put that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant to ask you that.
But thank you.
Earlier,
if you think it's a fake beard, that probably means it looks pretty good.
It actually does look good. I'm not going to be from one bearded man to another.
From one bearded guy to another man.
It fits your face. It fits your face.
Oh, thank you.
And you have a hard face to fit.
Well, imagine it without the beard. Imagine it without the beard. It's like a giant baby.
I'm ugly. I'm as ugly as sin. I get it. But okay, really quick.
I think you're kind of cute.
Oh, dude, this is getting weird. Okay. Sad Chad is not designated to provide medical advice. All content, including text, graphics, images, and information available on or through this podcast are for general information purposes only. This content is not intended to be substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. And never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you've read or heard on this show.
Thank you. Sad Chad. We welcome our next guest. We have Dr. Avalanker here. Is that how you say it?
Avalanker.
That's correct. Avalanker is how it's pronounced, but however you like to pronounce it is fine with me.
Or Brucey
Throughout
Baby.
the show,
He also goes by Brucey.
We read our medical disclaimer here for you to be a witness between these two gentlemen. That way you're free to say what you want on this podcast concerning that we won't get in trouble as much as yourself with your licenses. So, Kevin, I understand you had some questions for Stevie Lou last week. But
not questions, rebuttals and comments, and showing him how stupid he is. More to that, effect.
Okay, so we just wanted to have, in case there was any sort of dispute that needed to be settled in a medical method, we've got a board-certified physician.
That looks like a real background. It definitely is not green keying out around his head. Definitely.
I'll
not.
tell you what. I mean, he's got a professional microphone over there, which I've never seen.
Right.
That's like a drum mic. It looks like
he's got the doctor hat. I mean, is
that an SM58?
57.
That's beautiful. Like, so I think that's an expensive mic that only doctors can really afford.
Right.
So,
look, listen, Kevin. All I'm saying is he's got the files and the books to back it up here. So. He's more or less here's a witness to prove it. No, he's here. He's fine. He's fine. Look.
Yeah,
he's gone.
That's a book there. He's showing us a book.
Yeah. Just tell us what the book is. Alcohol abuse. You can read the title of the book.
Video podcast.
Is this an intervention?
He's not a professional.
It's not
comedian.
an intervention. He's here as a professional doctor, Kevin.
Yeah, I buy it.
I believe Dr. Steve would appreciate this book. This is the Mayo Clinic Family Health book. The Mayo Clinic.
Wow, those guys are good. Yeah.
I like
Shout out
Mayo.
to Dr. Steve.
Delicious.
Knocking a little break down the fourth wall. We did try to get Dr. Steve for this episode, and we weren't able to make it happen in time.
He's coming soon, but for now we settled with the Hood Doctor, who also has a proven record, just so Kevin and the rest of the listeners know. Dr. Avalanker here has a proven record in court.
He's got an AIDS book. What?
Yep, he's got an AIDS book, Kevin, or Stevie, just in case you guys need that.
That's true. I'm susceptible.
People who are not on the Kevin train are starting to get into the chat, so we really need to get into this conversation to try to move some sides here. Now, Kevin, I'll let you have the floor since you were the host last week with me. You have the floor on about the episode that you had missed out on, of course.
Yes. So I just took some notes, some things that Stevie kind of got wrong because he's listening to somebody else that doesn't know. So the first thing was the hotel. You said that David Chandler paid for the whole thing. Where did you get that information from?
Okay, can I amend that statement a little bit, if that's all right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially since you're here. So I remember before DabbleCon, you and that guy OJ were running these major promotions on your podcast. Like, it was called Send Us to DabbleCon. It was literally called Send Kevin and OJ to DabbleCon, right? And I have it under pretty good suspicions or information. I forget which is which.
Okay.
David Chandler, the great David Chandler,
Yes.
was one of the major benefactors.
Absolutely.
Not only just in the super chats and the extreme things that you were getting, but also he was maybe sending extra funds out to you guys as a thank you for doing your show. Now, I know you did say that you ended up buying some equipment with that as well.
Yeah.
But are you telling me that those donations that were sent out from David Chandler and the other kind folks out there were only earmarked for equipment and were not
it was for DabbleCon in general, but I ended up using it for equipment. And then after the whole B. Gabler thing, all the donations dried up. So what I was planning on things were going to keep coming in, they didn't. So I used all the money that I had for equipment, and then the extra money, I had about $100 to go towards the hotel room out of the $700 I spent.
Wouldn't you say, though, that in theory, the better move is to get the hotel taken care of first, because without the hotel, you're not gonna need the equipment. You didn't end up needing the equipment.
Yeah, especially
Well,
in
that's-
place like
which is sad.
Rochester,
I'm not
where you
happy
don't
about
know
that,
it's
buddy.
going to
You know,
be
like-
cold.
Well, the equipment
Like,
I have to
you know,
order.
At least
The
in my
hotel
mind,
I can get.
if I'm planning a trip, I would
Hotels
say let's get the
first,
hotel
yeah.
first. You know, so like if you're spending this money that was supposed to be for this trip on things other than the hotel first, I think that you can't use that later on as
I
like
didn't-
a reasoning
so,
for saying
the reason
you
I was
didn't pay
waiting-
for the hotel. So.
The reason I was waiting is I didn't know where everybody's staying. I didn't want to get a hotel and then have to, be a mile away from everybody else. I was trying to wait. Nobody like really told me where they're staying.
Yeah, but
that's
the
why I was
thing,
waiting. I'm just. You
Yeah,
could say it's
okay.
a bullshit excuse, but that's what I was
No,
waiting.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I don't want to just get a hotel everywhere.
Like,
I want to
listen,
be where people are going to be there. So I'll wait.
And listen, I don't want to. This is getting heated, and I don't want it to be heated.
Not getting heated. I'm just explaining. You're just saying it's an
I
excuse.
feel- I
It's
know,
a fucking reason.
I personally feel
It's a reason, not an
rising a little
excuse.
bit, and I'm trying to keep it level-headed, buddy. And I don't want you to feel like you're being completely cornered here. And
Yeah,
fucked
I
with.
mean,
I don't feel
we've
like that
already-
at all.
you-
I just
okay,
feel like
it
you're an
was
idiot
already,
and you're
he
wrong.
already cornered himself
think I'm
once.
an
Now,
idiot
let's
and
go to
I'm
the
wrong.
doctor. The doctor here, would you book the hotel room first?
Or would you start buying expensive mics, extra mics?
They weren't very expensive.
I believe that probably the logical thing to do would probably be to get make sure you have a room booked and ready for that equipment. Yes, before you
And a
get
pla-
there.
in a place like Rochester.
Here's another thing: is I thought maybe OJ would be able to get his own hotel room. I
Yeah,
thought I
you
was
didn't
only
talk to
worrying
him
about myself.
Like prior, or like did
You guys didn't
that
discuss
week
that.
talk?
No, it was, dude. Honestly, we thought the money was going to keep coming in. It would be a non-issue. We'd each have our own hotel room. This would be a non-issue, and
I
then
understand
everything
that-
changed.
I mean, I understand that, right? And I don't want to bring OJ too much into this. I know he doesn't want to get involved anymore in this. I don't speak to him often, but I did reach out to him afterwards just to make sure that things were like, I didn't want to upset people by, saying, hey, listen, Kevin Dumbfuck is our guy. You know what I mean? So no matter what happens here with him, he's our guy. And I'm not the kind of fucking asshole that just throws someone to the side just over some one thing. You know what I mean? So yeah.
But why do you have
all
to
right.
make sure that's okay with OJ?
Because he's
Well,
the other
because-
party in this situation. He's it's you two in this situation, really. You know what I mean? And I wanted to get his side because I feel like he's not a very public person. You, on the other hand, are. And that's not a knock on you. That's just how it is, And he has now gone on a few times on other shows to try to clear out some air. And I think most people out there just want to kind of get to the bottom of some things and maybe even let this die at this point. I think we're
Yeah,
really
no,
ending.
that's why we have the doctor
That
here.
would be nice.
We're going to go over most of everything. We're not going to hash it out too much. And then, it's got to be squared away because, like, even after last week's episode, that's all Twitter was talking about was the pissed off. And then a lot of people have questions. I just want to make sure that it's confirmed by the doctor here about why maybe this could have happened with the pills. And he's got the books to back it up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving you guys a chance to talk about the whole thing. And who cares who talked to who? The bottom line is that was a situation between you guys, and that's all that really matters. The fact that it got hashed out for this long and people went from, maybe making this thing hilarious to actually caring about it and posting about it and making hashtags and being stupid and whatever, which sucks on your end. I know it blows. People have done that shit to me before.
The doxing definitely sucks.
Yeah, I want to go on the record. I didn't want to bring that up because I am still really not cool with how that went down, buddy. And I'm really sorry. I think the whole internet community, if you go look, I think that post got one fucking like, and that guy's stuff usually gets some traction. I think that's a sign to you, bud, that like no one was really cool with that. And I think that guy's got a bone to pick with you. I
don't know why.
Oh well, let's leave that out. But let's just say he's got a bone to pick with you, and we can all hear. Even Doctor could probably tell you how that shit kind of can come and stab you in the ass real hard sometimes.
Right. Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, it's hard. So, I mean, getting into
Let's
the whole thing,
go to the next. Do you have any other?
Yeah. So I've never shit in a drawer. So still, Steve, even though you did that when you're younger, that's still way worse than anything I've done.
When I was 16 years old.
Yeah. That you can't just.
I had barely become a man. And yeah, we party pretty hard where I'm from. I'm from New Rochelle, New York.
Rock
if you didn't
City.
know. That's
New
right,
Rock City.
bro. And
Yep.
we were I used to have a bar tab at a bar when I was 16 years old. I was able
Beautiful.
to keep a tab. You know, you'd go in, you'd put $40 behind underneath the Jägermeister bottle, and you'd literally drink for
Ooh,
the
good
whole
old
weekend.
Jaeger.
We'd buy really shitty pot from the Bronx and listen to bad country songs at closing time. You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
it
nothing
came over
wrong
and
with
shit in a
that.
drawer.
I never made
You
it
know?
to closing time.
I mean, personally, I shat in my own drawer at my own home. I didn't piss on someone else's stuff in a hotel.
Yeah, that
So,
is the major
I know
key
you
difference
think that
here.
there's
Now,
an equivalency
shit-
there, but I'm going to
Again, that's why I go back. This would be a funny
Let's-
just story
let's
if
go to-
we were
let's
all in
go to
our
the doc-
own hotel rooms.
Well, this is why we have the
That's
doctor
what-
here. Doctor, what
Oh,
would you
okay.
say is worse? Which is worse, doctor? A 16-year-old man getting overserved at a bar, coming home, shitting in his dresser drawer, and falling
Overserved,
asleep.
so you don't take any responsibility.
I overserved. Like no, I didn't say that at all. Being overserved doesn't necessarily take the responsibility off of
Okay.
me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the real important thing is that I shit in a drawer. It's not about
Yeah.
how high or drunk I got or how I got there. It's that
Right.
I got so bad that I shit in the drawer. You know what I mean? So, but doctor, please let's clear this one up and not get in the mud here. Which is worse? A young man,
I
16
get
years old, shitting in his drawer, drunk, or I don't want to say your age, but an adult male pissing on another man's
Fully grown.
luggage, naked, in a hotel.
Yeah, I don't even know. I can't explain that one.
Well, first I'd have to know you were only on alcohol, Stevie Lou. You weren't
At
didn't
that
take
time,
any-
I was actually just starting my journey into cannabis as well. So it would have been
Okay.
alcohol and cannabis only, no pills. That's a great point. I did not really start fucking with pills until a little later, like I was 19. You know, so 16 I wasn't doing muscle relaxers and stuff, but I've definitely done them. You know,
I was. Well, you know what?
That's why you're the doctor.
I'd have to say,
it's actually why he's not a doctor.
you know what? Seeing that Mr. Kevin Dumbfuck was on a combination of alcohol and a muscle relaxer.
And cannabis, if you want to add that on. I don't know if
Fair.
we're going to.
That's fair.
And
No,
But
you
sure,
can edit.
definitely always
That's
cannabis.
fair.
Okay, and also this will also help the context. Were you drinking beer or liquor? Both of you.
Vodka.
Vodka
Ooh.
and
Straight
Steve-
vodka.
Me, I was the guy that would start off with beers, but I'd chase them with a few shots, and then I'd turn to the hoos. Sorry, what do they call it? The hooch. Then I'd go straight hooch near the end of the night when it was fucking guns blazing.
So, that's a new one to me, Kevin. I do have this question myself. If you went there to have fun, why are you just drinking straight vodka? I only drank
That's just
vodka
what I drank.
when I wasn't having a good time and I wanted to fucking die.
That's just what I drank.
Are you
That's what I'm
Russian?
drinking right now.
Are you Russian?
Are you drinking now?
This is just straight vodka.
Exclusive. Straight. Can we see that again one more time? Yeah, I was sure people would be cutting, clipping, tweeting that. Just because. But that's Kevin. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. We're molding you. We're molding you because.
Yeah, what are you
That's
proud
something you should do. If somebody calls you an alcoholic in the chat, you put
Yeah.
up the fucking glass, dude.
Yeah, I don't
you
care.
put it
They-
up.
oh,
You're like,
hey,
yeah.
people going,
look at
oh,
me."
why are you still drinking? Why are you still drinking? Use your rock
lot of
bottom.
people
I'm
are
like,
saying
that's
that, yeah.
You think that's a rock bottom? That was that should have been a fun fucking story. It just got turned into something else.
That's not a fun
Right.
story. That's
Well, it's not fun.
no,
It's
no.
an
Yeah, if he
unfortunate
talked to
story.
me and I cleaned all his shit the next day, we all laughed about it. It would have been a
But it
fucking
didn't
fun
happen.
story.
I
Can we
said
get
you
a-
should have
can
went
we get a-
live immediately.
Can we get a ruling from?
Well, I have a response to that as well.
But let's just get a ruling first on the.
All right, I'm gonna have to be honest. I'm gonna have to say Steve Lou is probably a little worse that you were drinking beer and just smoking cannabis and went home and shit in your drawer at
Wow.
age 16.
I wasn't expecting that.
It's a fair
Well,
show, bud.
Don't worry. I'm gonna try to keep things. I'm gonna try to keep things fair, not.
Well, you don't have to try anything. It's truth here. You're the doctor. Don't tell me if I
well,
have AIDS if
yeah.
I don't have AIDS.
I'm
I'll
just putting
respectfully-
myself in that situation, and I've been in both places. I've been to Atlantic City, and I've drank a little bit too much, and I was also on pills, but I also never pissed or defecated on anything except for in the toilet bowl.
Nice. Not even
This is
on
the
top
first
of the
time
tank?
it's ever happened to me. First time ever in my whole life. I've never
Now
done
you
anything.
blame
And I would
it
tell you.
possibly on the prescription drugs being expired.
It doesn't matter. It only makes them a little weaker. It doesn't make them not like non-effective.
Let's get the doctor can give us a quick hit answer there. Is that true?
No, that if anything, it would make the pills weaker. It wouldn't make the effects any different or change
just-
the effect of the pills. You're still
Okay,
But
so
isn't-
then,
the same
then why
chemical.
would you keep referring to it as a 10-year-old prescription, prescription instead of
Okay,
just
here's
saying a
why.
prescription?
Because
Doesn't
I've
matter.
had the same bottle for 10 years that shows that I hardly ever use them.
Well, okay,
That's
hold
what
on,
the
hold on,
point
hold on,
was.
hold on.
I
No
rarely
doctor.
take this.
Okay, let's get a doctor's advice here. I'm sorry, that's not how prescriptions work. No.
Yes, it is. Your take as needed. It says on the thing,
No, but
take as
that's
needed.
only during your need for
No.
your. Oh, all right. Well, let's get the doctor
Back
in here.
pain?
Doctor,
My
have
back
you ever
pain is
in your
gone?
professional advice in your career, have you ever heard of a doctor say, "Hey, I'm going to give you this prescription, and you should just only take 10 of that prescription and hold on to it for the rest of your life, and only take them"?
Why would they say
as
that?
needed?
That's
Or
ridiculous.
should they say, "There's an end life on this, and you're supposed to come back to me, and we'll reassess"? Because another thing I wanted to say, buddy, is that did that doctor that prescribe you those back pain pills know about your Adderall prescription
No, I know
as well?
I only started Adderall
let me,
recently.
as an adult to an adult, try to explain something to you really quick. When you start mixing cocktails of prescriptions without medical advice, there is no excuse for that whatsoever. So
The
let me tell
Adderall
you
is
one more-
not.
let me tell
It
you one
doesn't
more
come
thing.
into
Let me-
play.
now I'm
But the
getting
Adderall
huge.
doesn't come into. If I
Let me
took
tell you
more
one thing-
Adderall,
one
it would have
thing, buddy.
helped me not
Listen.
black out.
Let me tell you, buddy. I know this is going to be hard to hear, but if you had taken that prescription and that vodka, and instead of pissing on OJ's stuff, you got behind the wheel and you crashed and killed someone, and you went to court, and you tried pulling all these excuses you've been trying to pull, your ass would be so fucking far underneath the jail, you wouldn't even have time to breathe, bro. It would be
don't
a
even
bad
know how that's
scene
an
for
argument.
You know what I mean? Oh, that's not an argument. What don't you understand about that?
Is this a
Clear it up
legal
for you.
proceeding?
Well, I'm just trying to tell you that your excuses that you've been using for the situation would not hold up in a court of law for a
Who the
second.
fuck cares if they would hold up in a court of law? This is me with you three fucking assholes. You think this has anything to do
Hey.
with anybody here fucking qualified to go speak in court? No, only as maybe the defendant.
Well,
All right,
Come
I
on,
can-
you're trying to tell me anything? Come on, that's such a stupid thing. That you're going to compare this to, if it doesn't play out in a court of
bringing up a
law, you don't have
hypothetical
anything to say
situation.
to defend yourself. That's fucking retarded.
no, not that you don't have anything to say for yourself, but if you use those specific excuses that you're using as a defense, they would throw your ass in jail.
I think that's true, but I think what Kevin Dumbfuck is trying to say, and I agree with him, is that he's trying to say that he is proving that he hadn't taken those pills all the time, so he had a very low tolerance to those pills.
Yes, and I've never ever drank on them, so I had no clue. And again, that's my fault for not looking it up. And I completely forgot that I even took them when I really started drinking. My back started feeling better, and I didn't even think about it. And I never experienced that. If I had known, I probably would have been like, yeah, fucking just deal with the back pain and do that. But it was excruciating.
So for example, I would say if Kevin Dumbfuck had been taking those pills every day and took the entire bottle and took those pills every day, his tolerance to those pills would be much lower. And if he took that pill that night and drank alcohol, he may not have had any really bad effects because
Okay,
his tolerance would have
really
been so
quick
low.
though, but
Not that
Dr.
that
Allenlecker,
matters.
he took that pill that morning.
Okay,
So
That
is
another
true.
issue what I had
Well, I
is
also
that,
took one the day before.
so,
Okay, so then
these
it-
pills have
So-
Life,
they
yeah.
process through your
half-life.
bloodstream.
Yeah, they
go
have a
through your
half-life.
liver. Yeah, no, more than a half-life. A half-life is actually more when you're talking about how long they sat on your shelf. That's what a half-life
No,
is. Because half-life is about
That's
their
nice. See,
activity.
the doctor knows you're wrong. It's
The
it's
doctor,
the opposite.
yeah,
I'll tell you right now.
it is the opposite.
Yeah.
So, sorry, when we're talking about atoms and a half-life, and we're talking about chemistry, which I'm talking about, we're talking about a periodic table.
We're talking about the half-life of
for
medicine.
the half-life for
We're talking about the
medicines
effects
are
that a
medicines
medicine
to get
are
processed through your body.
Medicines are elements, man. They are a lot of times they're made from they come
Dr.
as,
Stevie.
Yes, they're made of they are made
Yeah.
of a
So listen, when
combination
they're
of
talking about
atoms.
half-life, they're talking about how active is that material in oxygen in our atmosphere, in the Earth's rotation, and how potent, like plutonium, for example. Their
Talking
half-life.
No.
That's not
These are
half-life.
two
That's
different
radioactive half-life is completely separate than what we're talking about.
That is true. Let me just say, cyclobenzaprine has a half-life of 8 to 32 hours, which is extremely long. So that
And
means
I took a pill the day before, so I had that in
Exactly.
there as well.
How many hours was it? Sorry.
8 to 32.
between 8 and 32. So yes, he took a pill yet the day before. So that is still in his
Okay,
system. The
so
next day.
This
So
doctor
these-
sucks.
All right, these effects you're talking about that could last more than 8 hours, those would be mild.
I wish I
side
could last
effects.
more than
Those
8
Those
hours.
would not be your blackout scenarios would only normally happen due to the pills in the initial first 4 or 5 hours. A pill
first-
Not
taken, doctor.
Let's see. Does first of all we need to know, is this extended release or instant release?
Ooh.
I don't know. Let me go look. I'll be right back.
Hold up. How can he look if the label is rubbed off the bottle? How can he look? Remember last week I asked a question about the bottle and he said the label was rubbed off after being so old. It sounds like a lot of excuses now, but I know everyone is tired of this thing. I'm tired of receiving the report from both sides, so we had to settle it here in the court of law with the doctor. Okay.
No, it doesn't say extended release. It just says 10 milligrams.
So I'd assume that that's normal.
So
Yeah.
then extended release would be like, that would be in your system for up to 60 hours, which is a long time. So let's say we're going to put it in the middle. Let's say between 8 and 32, let's say 18 hours it was in your system. So you're still going to have you're going to have about 5 milligrams the next day still in your system, since it's 10, you're taking 10 milligram pills. 5 milligrams is going to be, you're going to piss that out, within a couple hours. Then the other 5 milligrams is still going to be in your system
No,
when
it's
you
got my
take
name
that-
on it. I got a
when you
picture I
take
can
the
show.
pill.
Don't
the
put it
next
up.
day.
Yeah.
I have a picture I can show.
Listen, thank you for clearing that up, doctor. Then if I'm mistaken on that, thank you for. And again, if
I
folks
know
out
what
there.
you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, like how uranium has like
Right, so and then I'm off base, and I
1,000-year
apologize, and
half-life.
I'll admit that I'm wrong there. And thank you, doctor, for being so knowledgeable on abuse of pharmaceuticals.
Right. You got a lot of
Well, we're-
fine books there. I would expect that. So that was a very good knowledge point. Thank you.
Yes, and what happens? See, the thing with that, the reason this happened when you mix it with alcohol is what metabolizes these drugs. These drugs are both.
That's why mixing
metabolized-
Xanax and booze is awesome. Hold on. One
That's-
second.
Don't
but
interrupt the doctor.
Xanax, booze, and Flexeril, cyclobenzaprine, right there, with muscle relaxer, are all metabolized by the CYP450 enzyme. There's cytochrome P450, which is an enzyme in the liver.
Damn.
Now, if you take more than a drug or more than one drug that is metabolized by that cytochrome, these drugs will compete for metabolism, which will make the enzymes put way more of this stuff into your bloodstream.
Got it.
It will increase the amount in your bloodstream
Got
because
it, doctor.
they're
Really
metabolized
quick,
by the same
I think
enzymes.
you're speaking way over a lot of folks in our audience's head, but I understood what you're saying. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
out of breath
sure you
from
did.
listening.
let me try to dumb it down. That yes, so this could put something to bed, folks. That like what Kevin did was kind of dangerous, and not putting
Yeah,
the
I'd-
blame on you, Kevin, but like you
No,
did
I'd
end
say,
up like really
if anything,
poisoning,
it should be
you
a-
poisoned yourself.
If
you know,
anything, it
so-
should be a PSA to never fucking take muscle relaxers and drink, and that's what I said from the beginning.
Correct,
I fucked
buddy.
up.
Again,
I take all the
again, we're not-
responsibility.
we're not here
I'm
to
not
just
trying to
fuck you.
deflect blame. I'm just trying to explain what happened. I take all the responsibility. Everybody's like, "You're not taking."
Kinda disagree
No, it's
with his
just
deflection.
how.
I'm not gonna.
How? I'm saying this is what happened. I,
from
did this.
the
I took
trying
that.
to like okay, let's go back to that hotel thing. Why would you even put that out there about OJ and the hotel?
Because
Why would you
everybody
put
was
that-
telling me like, and then you saying DC paid for the whole thing. Like, no, he didn't.
Why did it ever even breach to the public knowledge in the first place? Like from man to man, buddy, I kind of keep that shit quiet.
I
personally.
would have
Like,
if
you know what I
OJ
mean?
didn't go and
was
just
kind of
at
a
the
shitty
first
move.
chance. Oh yeah, if OJ played it differently, this whole thing would be different.
Dude,
but
what-
he
first
at
of
the
all, and also
let
how-
me just
okay.
finish. Let me
Yeah.
finish. At the first fucking chance he got, he threw me under the bus and jumped on to the next rung of the ladder.
Ooh.
Well, you
You
pissed
sent
on
him, in your own words, you sent him hundreds of text messages. That is not a
Not
proper
100. I mean,
response.
exaggerated.
Your
I got a
words
lot,
were
though.
100, but
A
okay,
lot.
let's just
It was
say
a
a
lot.
lot of text
Hundreds.
messages. If I got a problem with somebody and they start bombing my phone with texts,
Yeah.
and this was a bad
I'm gonna
problem,
call
like
the
they pissed
motherfucker.
all over my shit, I'm going to put you on block and fucking maybe take some shots at you, buddy. You know what I mean? That
Well,
from a
if
man
you
to
like
man,
the
that's not
person-
a professional way to really go about your business.
Wait,
you
how
know?
about you to answer the text and be like, let's work it out?
Bro, like there's apparently some sort of financial thing that hasn't still to this day been squared away, and you're still holding
It's
on to that.
nothing to do about financial. We're talking
did at
about
one
him
point, though.
getting mad about what I did and then just not talking to me and never
Felt like
working
you
it out,
tried to
never
kinda-
wanting to. He never wanted to make it right. He just wanted to move on and just
don't-
I mean,
ditch
like
it.
I said
to.
though, like I
He
said,
don't
can
owe
we,
you
can we
nothing.
put one
He-
thing in the fucking
didn't-
clouds? Because I can't stop thinking about it. Because every time something new comes up, a new developing thing that hasn't been said, it looks like both OJ and Kevin both went through great lengths to blame this somehow on the other person. Can you just?
Why am I
please, for
blaming
once-
this on him?
No, for once and for all, because you say he went to lengths, you went to lengths. Were you guys just sucking each other off in there, and you really this is all cover up?
Hey, I was blacked out. I could have been. I don't know. My throat did hurt for like a couple days after that. A lot of
Clip it.
people said he could have throat fucked me or
Clip it.
something. My throat, like right here, not here and not here, but
All right, this
right
thing you
here
do,
was so
this is-
fucked up for like
Bro,
5 days
all right.
afterwards.
We've all seen the movie Tommy
Inside.
Boy. We've got to stop doing that thing. Not
Right
necessarily
here,
here or
yeah.
here. Right? You keep doing that, and it's fucking
Yeah.
driving me nuts. But
I,
also,
I'm,
Dr.
well, then
Alba-
I'm just gonna keep doing it if it drives you nuts.
Yeah, please.
Just
Keep
fucking
doing
tell
it.
me that.
You-
Don't tell
no,
me that.
I know. You're right. All right. I'm
Now,
sorry.
tell me
Dr.
that, you piece of
Avalanche-
shit.
Alvin Lanker, really quick. Alvin Lanker, do you know about any sort of heartburn and like acid reflux? Do you have any?
Oh yeah.
Related
had
to
it-
cyclobenzaprine is what you're saying?
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
one thing that kind
and
of
alcohol, obviously.
right? Like,
Alcohol absolutely caused some
Yeah.
gastric issues.
yeah, especially
Plus, when
maybe
you're
if,
drinking, you're eating like shit. Probably some hot wings, some cheese
Oh, yeah.
fries, something
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
all right.
Now,
cool. Was there anything? I mean, let's give Kevin. Was there any other points, or are we working through it? And again,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
wanted to say really quick. I give you a lot of respect right now for standing on the fire. Stand through
Sitting.
the fire, baby. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
sitting.
whatever.
But
Fuck,
you
go
know,
fuck
listen,
yourself. All right, so this is actually to Ski Mask. The reason I didn't go live the next day is because I was very hungover and very confused and still trying to get OJ to talk to me, and I was apologizing nonstop. I wasn't in any mood to kind of like address the public. I was trying to write things with OJ, and then I just went to back
I mean,
to
yeah, that's
DabbleCon.
understood. I was saying it more in a general sense of like, you know, to try to clash the thing head on. But I can understand if you're there with a person who you haven't met in real life. Like, it's totally understandable. I'm just saying what I would have done, or at least try to do. Am I sitting here saying that's what I would have done? No. But we can all pretend to go back in conversations we've had and say this or not say that. So, you know, it would have been nice if that would have happened, take
Sure,
control
but
of the moment, but it's hard when you're in the moment.
Yeah, and I was in a hotel, and I was fucking literally. I was just like, let me just try to salvage the rest of DabbleCon and, you know, try to have some fun because I was in
well-
such a shame spiral, and I was so embarrassed about everything I did. I felt so bad.
So, Kevin, can I stop really quick? And I'm not trying to
Sure.
jump on you, but what you've said publicly is that the first thing you did was start drinking.
Yeah.
And then that's the only cure for a hangover. Now, Dr.
Yeah.
Alvalenker, in your medical experience, is drinking alcohol the only cure for a hangover? Or
well,
are
just
there
let me
other-
put a pin. I didn't have access to an IV bag. That would have helped as well.
Okay.
It's the only one I
besides-
had access
Besides
to.
drinking alcohol and an IV bag, are there other ways to feel better about yourself the next day after a long night of drinking?
There are ways to actually even prevent the hangover before it ever happens.
Oh.
So, for example, they do have those chaser things where you're
Yeah.
supposed to take that after. That you know, that's
That's your medical advice?
Meth.
No,
there
no,
we
no,
go.
no.
Meth, but I
Thing-
took enough Adderall the next day. It did not help. I heard Xanax for some
Oh, no.
reason helps a lot of people with hangovers, but that's weird.
Or just,
That's
you know,
just
going to the gym and the
very
sauna and drinking some water.
Oh yeah, that's what
and
I'm
a
gonna do
Tylenol, buddy.
after I'm in a fucking shame spiral and I
Yeah.
want to kill myself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the gym.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
never worked
Yeah.
out. You've never worked out a hangover, bud. I'll tell you, man. I'm sorry that you
Exactly.
haven't because it's really good and good for you to go sweat it out and then do a sauna or some shit. You were at a hotel. Don't they have those fucking things?
it's not easy to do, but nutrition, and exercise will absolutely help you with a hangover.
That's-
I
Don't
work
worry,
out
yeah.
when I feel good about myself. When I want to kill myself and end it all, I don't go work out
Whoa,
because I
dude,
want
don't know,
to
man.
end
If
it
you're
all.
having those thoughts, I don't think you should be drinking at all.
We're not-
But,
I'm like,
hey,
hold on.
before,
Wait,
before
wait,
we
That's
wait,
just
skip
fucking
over-
hype. I'm not really gonna just slit. I'm just saying when you're like you feel that shitty where you're just like
we're gonna
this
get
sucks.
taken off
Dude.
YouTube for that. I think.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a fucking joke. I wasn't really gonna
Okay,
just
good. Thank
do
you
it.
That's
for
a
saying
joke
that.
for the
Thank you.
movie
Thank
that
you, joke.
Stevie's
It's a joke.
writing.
I'm doing.
Yeah,
Holy
it's a joke.
shit.
Hilarious.
Hyperbole.
Oh,
Hyperbole.
God, that is
Well-
so gay. You can't talk about what you want to talk about.
I
Citizen
know.
M is in the chat, of course.
Really quick, can I put a real
Yeah,
quick,
so what's
like
up?
suicidal thoughts are very severe and not, unless we could joke about it. But
Yeah, it's
if
lame
anybody
as
out
Funny
there,
to
hell.
me.
let me just get another disclaimer up really quick. If anybody in the steel toe,
come on.
ski mask, I'm so shook right now. The ski mask community is feeling any bad thoughts. We have a helpline.
Drink and
here
driving
for,
competition. Oh,
I'm pretty good
Let
at
me
that.
just pull this up real quick. It is 988 is the suicide and crisis lifeline. So you can just
yeah,
dial
call them.
988
Couple good eggs over
on
there.
your phones if you are having any.
Is it star 988?
Self harm. I think you just call 988 kind of like you call 911.
You can text. You can
Oh,
text.
okay.
988.
You can even
Yeah, give
text
him a
too.
chat.
Text
Let's-
him. Okay, cool.
What if you're about to
I mean-
hang yourself and you're really fucking shaking and you accidentally call the police?
What if you just need advice on how to tie a knot?
That's probably a good thing too, because the police will show up and maybe stop you from hanging yourself.
Come on.
Or at least
You
they'll
know,
find your
They're
body
gonna be
before-
taking.
No, they'll shoot you.
They'll be taking
Listen,
They'll
wages.
shoot you.
Listen, I've known folks who've taken their own lives. I have family, friends who
Me too.
have like severe. It's a terrible thing. It happens a lot to the like veterans too, which fucking really makes it seem so much tougher
Right.
for me to even like wrap my head around that these guys. I know why that these guys are having trouble out there. and stuff.
PTSD.
It's just- It's
Yeah.
fucked up, man. So I don't know. I'm bad. I'm bad with my words. So
Kevin, one of the guys. in the
it's good for a
chat
comedian
really
to be
wants
bad with
know, once and for all, what exactly did OJ do wrong? Was it not answering the text or not, working with you around it? What it specific?
In my view, obviously, this is just my opinion. I think if it happened to me and it was a friend, the way I would have treated it, and this is kind of how I judge it on, is I would have been very mad, probably kicked his ass a little bit, made him pay to clean everything, endlessly ragged on him about it, and had fun with it. The vitriol and the malicious, the doxing, everything that comes out of it, I believe is because of how OJ framed all of this. And I
like
think
it's
he framed it
straw
as
man.
like this was some kind of purposeful thing that I did when it was completely just like when he woke me up out of this fucking when I was literally blacked out pissing. I was so confused and like holding my head and so was like sad about like I knew this was a very very bad thing that I did. So
hold on. So I gotta say something now that just came to me for the first time. Seriously,
okay.
you don't wake up from a blackout.
When somebody's yelling at you and you wake up,
no,
yes,
buddy.
yes, you do.
He's
No.
right.
You could
He's
yell
right.
the fuck. You could yell the fucking ski mask face when he's blacked out, and that doesn't just suddenly snap him out of the blackout, buddy.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
if you came, hold on, let me fucking finish. If you came out of some sort of blackout, then this may be a whole completely different fucking case here. We're just breaking this now. If you like, now I'm thinking about it. If you're in
Maybe
a
I
drug
was
and
sleep
alcohol,
pissing?
hold on, buddy. Let me talk. If you're in a drug and alcohol blackout. You don't just suddenly snap out of that. That my doctor can tell me pretty quick. There's no way to like undrunk or unnarcotic yourself when you're in a blacked out state.
You're basically in a
I-
drug-
I would beg to argue with that because there was one time that I took the only time I've ever taken window pane mushrooms. And it's a whole long story. Me and my friend went on this boat. It's a whole long story, but we got caught on somebody else's boat. And we were fucked up like beyond belief. And when this guy caught us on his boat, we sobered up like I've never sobered up in my life. And that was from
psychedelic
fucking
drugs.
window pane acid.
Psychedelic drugs are different than narcotics and
Sure,
alcohol.
but it is
So let's just
possible.
get
What is
that
what I'm
fucking
saying?
out of the way.
I'm just saying it is not
Someone
beyond the
who
realm
knows,
of possibility.
Window pane mushrooms. I've never heard
No,
of that
window
before.
pane acid.
Right. Well, just
I don't know what
people
window
do-
pane mushrooms
people do,
are.
Well, people do drop acid on mushrooms, and that's a stupid thing to do. But
Oh,
I've seen
okay.
it. So, but you can't get dropped. Anyway, all right. I know about.
I can-
psychedelics. Sorry, I know
uh,
about psychedelics. Sorry.
Oh, the doctor knows something.
I can relate to this. I've been on a large amount of LSD and I was tripping balls. And when the cops showed up, I sobered up immediately.
It's so
And,
weird.
Yeah.
But that's
So
not what
I-
we're talking
okay,
about.
but
we're
what
talking
I-
about
so
fucking
this-
muscle
this-
relaxers.
Let
Let me
and
tell you what I
Yeah.
remember. Let me tell you what I remember. I remember getting yelled at and waking up literally pissing and going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I know,
That's
but you
what I
don't
woke up
remember
doing.
anything in a blackout. Even if you
Yeah.
wake up, you don't remember.
Keep
That's
pissing.
the
You would have been
thing.
like, "Yeah, I'm pissing. What about
So-
it, motherfucker?"
How
don't
do I
remember.
wake up pissing and I don't know that I'm even there?
We're gonna need.
That's then that.
How does that happen? How is
We're
that?
gonna need
I
Dr.
mean,
Steve. We're gonna need Dr. Steve.
I know,
to
we're gonna
answer
need-
that.
I'm
sorry, I heard
sleepwalking.
doctor.
Am I sleepwalking? I've never done that
Maybe,
before.
maybe you were sleepwalking, dude. Listen, that
That
would
happened.
take some heat off of you then, if maybe you were sleepwalking.
Thank
So,
you.
let's
Nikolai
not-
says it best. If you sober
No,
up,
I didn't
then you weren't
sober. I
fucking.
didn't. No, I didn't sober up. I woke up. I was still completely fucked up. I trust me because it took me a couple of minutes to like sitting down to even realize what the fuck just happened. I did not sober up. I woke up. The other story is when I sobered up from the acid thing. Trust me, this one I didn't sober up
Citizen
from.
M is autistic. I love him.
Citizen is my boy. No, but I literally was like, I think I like went back and laid in bed and like just listened to him pack and was just like, I'm sorry. I think that's all I said until he left.
Can I really go back? Check in the chat. Someone made me crack. Decline host. I gotta give a shout out to my boy Decline host. He goes, y'all remember when Kevin Brennan called
yeah.
the Suicide
That was
Hotline
classic.
classic episode? When Kevin Dumbfuck was just talking about something serious, I laughed out loud reading that comment.
Yeah,
That was funny.
What did he do?
Man. He just like had a conversation with the fucking suicide operator, and it was one of the least intentionally funny, but one of the most funny episodes in the history of MLC. So
I've called suicide hotlines, and you know what? I've had some rough times. I used to be.
I guess we shouldn't laugh at that. Yeah, that's really bad of us to laugh
no,
at.
it
I feel bad. Now I feel
It was-
bad.
it
Now
was
he
his
said that. Now I feel fucking.
It was his
it's
delivery.
fine. It was my problem, my fault for first of all being on drugs and getting involved with a girl who totally fucked in my head. But no, you know what? I have
That'll do
those
it.
suicide
Was
hotlines.
it KB? Was it KB's fault for that
no,
whole
no.
thing? No, okay.
That bitch.
Yeah, I hope she's not watching this.
No, she's here in the chat.
She's in the chat. Oh shit! Can we edit this?
No.
I'm so sorry, KB.
Edit.
Those suicide hotlines are making me a little suspicious because they do ask you a lot of weird personal information.
Thanks, Chad.
Why
Sorry.
are you asking me this? But just for anybody who ever needs to call a suicide hotline, absolutely do it. Just lie to them about your
Are you
personal
saying,
experience.
maybe doctor? Are you saying that there's some sort of suicide hotline industrial complex that we are
I think
all
there
not?
is some. I think they gather data and they probably the government probably ends up with it because they'll find out this person is suicidal and he's thought about bringing a gun to school and killing all his friends. They probably the suicide hotlines are supposed to be completely.
Okay, so I think we're gonna have to bring the doctor back for another episode where we go into just conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off there, doctor, but you were starting to fucking dive right off that deep end, which I love you for. But let's put the pin on
So
that.
basically, he thinks they're farming data from a suicide
Yeah, let's look at it.
hotline.
You
Yeah,
don't need to
that's
repeat-
interesting.
You don't
That's
need
interesting.
to signal. You don't need to rebroadcast what you just said. But I do love what you're going. Okay,
I
let's
don't
go.
understand this comment. Should I put it up, Stevie?
What do you got?
Citizen
Citizen
comment?
M?
I don't understand why that's a bad thing.
Honestly, I know Citizen M is a very vocal and active member of our community. I think he got one very funny comment in before, and let's keep.
No,
moving.
he's got a couple. I just like
No, let's keep moving. Then, yeah, he
Citizen.
sits
Just
it-
so
he
you know,
loves the
that's
chat.
not a bad thing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I appreciate
I hope I don't
Citizen M
piss him
trying
off. I hope I'm not
to
pissing
even
him
the
off.
odds a little bit.
So let's go back. Let's maybe finish, and I would like the doctor to stay with us for the rest of the episode if he's okay with that. But maybe let's kick out of this
Yeah.
questioning.
We
Unless
said our
do you
piece.
have Kevin?
Look,
Do you have anything else that you want to throw our way
let me
before
see.
we move out?
Let me
I
see.
want to give you your chance to
he
really.
wants to do.
clear
If
the
I
air.
was in his shoes, I would want to back
Let's
out
get the
immediately.
fuck
I
out
want
of
to
here.
talk about the boat. Who was the guy on the boat, and why were you on some other guy's boat? Huh? Were you guys doing a little wanky
Well,
panky down there too?
I lived on a boat with my dad. So
Oh,
Was
my
your
bad,
dad
then.
you doing the shrooms?
Yeah,
no,
you
it was
and
a just a friend that
big piece or what?
No, I didn't check him out at that age. I was still too weird about it. Like it was all gay and shit. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, it wasn't sexually secure enough in my masculinity to just gaze at another guy's cock.
Yeah, I like how you use that word, gaze.
Yeah.
Get it?
You gotta fully take it in, right?
Whoa,
Well,
I
I
like
mean,
how
so-
you use that phrase, fully take it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Kevin, you said you had something else. If not, people in the
Oh,
chat,
yeah.
if you have anything else that hasn't been covered and you want it covered,
And then I think we
ask
can
now.
put this.
Yeah,
Unless Dr.
it's
Steve
to bed
comes
after
on,
this. Yeah.
Let's put it to bed unless we
I
get
would
Dr.
like.
Steve on.
Yeah,
There'll be
I'd like
jokes,
to.
but there won't be no more
Yeah,
arguing.
Dr.
about
Steve
it.
is a legend, of course.
My last one. I think this was something that Ski Mask said, but something about my interaction with B Dabbler, and you said like
Yeah.
it was something about like should have had beef, and I was actually there to try to shake his hand and settle the beef, but it just didn't go that way. He just laughed at me, and
Well,
made
maybe
a
in
whole bit of it.
hindsight,
I was
trying to
taking
settle-
your side in that point.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I was just saying. I thought you were. Someone said, someone said I was trying. Like you should take a fucking fire extinguisher and spray him. But
Steve,
I was
I
just,
said that.
yeah, I was literally just trying to I'm not trying to have like
that was
drama
the
and
next
shit.
day. That was
no,
the
that
next
was
day.
no, that was the day. That
Nobody-
was so right. No,
We can
No,
check the
what?
message. The day I told you to do to hit him with to spray him with the fire extinguisher was the day of the dabbies. Because you got in touch
okay.
with us that morning. I checked in on you
I'm
the
sorry.
morning. We have a
I
group
thought
chat.
I
I'm not
thought you
gonna bring
meant
it up.
like immediately after that. I should have grabbed the fire extinguisher and sprayed him or something. That's kind of how I
buddy,
took it.
And also, let's just say, maybe in hindsight, trying to go squash some beef when you're fucking flying higher than
I
you've
didn't
ever been in your
know.
life on.
Dude,
Dude, you know what I'm
look-
saying? When
yes,
you're flying high on
absolutely.
painkillers and alcohol all day,
Maybe
you
that's
shouldn't
why
try
I did
to-
it.
'cause,
Maybe that's
like,
why I
to be
did it.
honest,
Like I was feeling good. I'm like, hey, it's all love. We don't need any
Like, yeah,
fucking beef.
you
Let me just go
sounded
shake
like-
his hand.
You sounded like a Fraggle Rock character. If you go back to that audio, when you came in, you're like, "Hey, buddy." you did some
no.
voice
Right
modulation there
after that,
only.
right after that is where everything went black. Like I don't remember anything after
So
that
you weren't
point in time.
sleepwalking then. Then you weren't sleepwalking when you pissed. Then that cuts
You
that shit
still
out.
black out, time travel as Dave Attell says. You like blink literally, but I remember like flashes of things. It's like almost like where they kind of
Dave
portrayed in
Attell-
a movie where you like close your eyes and you open your eyes, you're somewhere else, and you close your eyes and you open your eyes, and you're
Hold on.
somewhere else. It was like
Dave Attell
flashes
says
of
that-
shit like that.
David Tell
No, but that's
also
how my
says-
memory was. I'm shitting you not.
Let me say my line. David Tell also says that those tits ain't retarded. So like, let's not use him as a medical advice
I
source.
I use it as all my advice. Is that wrong?
Okay.
I must say I've had a similar experience on Coricidin cough and cold.
Let's
Hey, look
do
at who it is, everybody! Fuckface! What do you want to shake my hand for? Yeah.
Holy!
Yeah, look at my eyes, dude. That was me fucking blacking out. That was like right as I was blacking
Why
out.
didn't you do this? You should have done that, bro. Why didn't you do that guy?
Hey, look at who it is, everybody! Fuckface!
Look at my eyes. Look, just Google it.
You're pale.
I don't-
You look like a dead body. You look like a
Oh,
walking
that's just
dead
the
body, bro.
lighting.
No,
just the
that's
lighting.
no lighting is gonna make you look like you are purple.
I just don't use my eyes. My eyes were all googly and shit. That's how you know. That's how I know I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
One's pointing one way, one's pointing the other way.
Oh man, I don't even know if this is a good episode or not. I think it's been fun.
Oh, I think it's
don't know.
great. People are loving it. People, are part of the dabble,
Look at that.
whatever. We had to get
at
into
this,
it because, look, like we
Not gonna
say
happen.
all the time, Chad has his problems, which we'll cover every Thursday. But this week was slow. Perfect week to catch up on what may have happened between the host of the show and, when people are here, people aren't here, things get
Right, we had a
said,
fucking
switched around.
doctor. Dude, we had a fucking doctor in the house, bro. We went from
Yeah.
Earl Skakel to a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows who the next guest could be on this shit. Now, I understand that the doctor, of course, may be in some of the podcasting stuff, but I think he told me earlier today you do want to give a couple of medical tips to the fine folks here listening at home.
Yes. I just want to say some of the drugs that were used. I want to say people who experiment with alcohol. I just want to say be careful because other drugs that you can mix with that can end up with fatal consequences. Don't drink grapefruit juice with cyclobenzaprine or Flexeril or alcohol. You can have a very bad effect. Or any cough medicine or Benadryl. Stay away from anything like that.
Hey,
because
Earl.
Benadryl. And also,
Sorry.
smoke Lucky Strikes to prevent lung fever and lung fatigue.
Wow.
What year is this? This is
Lucky
1950s?
Strikes. Have yourself a Lucky.
Is that an unfiltered?
Stay healthy.
Beautiful. I agree.
Lucky
Def-
Strike.
definitely
Recommended
smoke
by
Lucky
4 out of 5
Strikes.
doctors.
Exactly. I'm one of those 4.
Can we
Yes.
plug Dr. Alvalenker's Twitter handle?
Yeah, please, because I
Sure.
don't know why I couldn't find it. Do you have me blocked by chance? Maybe over some medical advice?
No, I have a new Twitter. I was banned from Twitter for about 4 years. I just got back on. My new account handle is at Alva ALVA 0894. So that's
Beautiful.
at Alva 0894. And you can
Albert,
check
do you
me
have a
out.
brother?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, he didn't get what you were saying. Hey, listen.
But you can
I
also
just wanted to say,
Google me.
yeah,
You can Google
Um,
Alva Lenker and find out all my stuff.
yeah. I heard that besides a doctor, that you're also a musician. Can you maybe
Yeah.
tell us
Yes,
a
he
little bit
is.
about that?
Yes, with the fortune that I made practicing medicine, I've been able to purchase musical equipment and recording equipment, so I've gotten into recording music. So you can check out all my music. Just Google Alvalanker. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, etc.
Wow. A true doctor out there shredding, fucking rocking and rolling.
Did you know that Dr. Steve plays the bass?
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
actually didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's
But,
in, I understand that he's in a band similar to this band, like the Isotopes. I don't know if you guys ever heard, but I think Dr. Steve has a band as well. And
a lot of doctors play music. You know, you'd be surprised.
I checked out the Isotopes the other day, and I gotta say, music is pretty good. You know, like just looking at musicians. I don't know, Doctor. We could talk more about this later, but I will give a shout out to that band up in Rochester, called the Isotopes.
Yeah. So Chad, next time you
despite
review their band,
what Chad
play
said,
one
like
of their
does
hits.
Chad? Does Chad have like no musical taste?
Obviously
or,
not, dude. He's a rapper.
Okay.
Which, speaking of which, is
Right.
what we need to get into next.
He's a rapper.
We'll do a little bit of tease for next week's episode, but we will be going over and breaking down Chad's basketball career. So we got some inside information on
That's news
that.
to me. That's news
And
to me.
also,
did you
there
guys
was,
know that I was also a basketball player? So this will be fun.
Yeah. So apparently,
Great
he's really good at
cardiovascular
basketball, and he'll beat anybody in one-on-one. But here's an
Oh,
exclusive.
hold on. Sorry. All right, you know what? Do your exclusive first. But holy shit, go ahead.
What were you gonna say? It's my
I
exclusive.
will
Might not
put-
be as cool.
I will put $5,000 on the line against Chad Zumach in a one-on-one game of basketball.
Damn.
Clip it.
Like anywhere. I'll fly down to Florida for
Clip it.
something like that. But let's play a game of 21. You and I, street ball.
Street ball, 21.
$5,000 of my own money I will put on the line. If it's not all your money, if you get a few folks to throw it in,
Yeah.
do it,
Crowdsource
buddy.
it.
Let's put the 5-on-5, 1-on-1. Let's see who's better. Chad. I would fucking really enjoy playing street ball against Chad. Let me tell you, that would be fucking really good. I think people would enjoy what happens.
Amazing.
Again,
He's out there
sports-
putting up numbers. People are saying.
Sports
Well, I
like
don't know,
basketball
if you know, he
and
could-
hockey, great cardiovascular exercise, good for your heart.
Yes. Yeah.
He's got a
Absolutely.
lifetime membership to Equinox, so he's the picture of health.
Yeah. You think
He's
we get a
banned-
new
he's
fucking
banned-
hat?
And he's banned from Planet Fitness, so hey.
Is he?
Well, I mean, that's where he stole those credit
Oh,
cards.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
God. Wow. Son of Billy Wagner has unfollowed Kevin Dumbfuck for unfollowing him. Sir, you do not do that to Billy Wags. He is a staple in the SEC
That's our guy.
community. Yeah.
That's our
I
guy.
went through and unfollowed like 90%
Yeah, but that's your
of the
problem.
people.
That's your problem, Kevin. That's your
Nah, it
problem.
was fucking up my timeline. I was just
Yeah,
tired
but
of
now
seeing
you're
everything.
fucking other people's timelines up, man.
Buddy.
Maybe they want to check out what's going on. They see you unfollowed them. They're like, who's
There's
this?
a mute
I
button.
unfollow them. It doesn't screw up their timeline at all.
There's a mute button. Just mute him, buddy. Let me
Yeah,
just tell you,
dude.
from man to man,
Ah.
better off to just mute people than do
Looks
that little.
really whack.
It's kind of gay.
You know what else is whack?
Billy Wagner.
it was whack for me to follow
Whoa,
those
hold on.
fucking people in the first place. I don't need to see that shit.
Whoa! Don't talk about Sir Wags like that, dude.
Wait, did
Dude.
the
Yeah.
doctor just
The
take a
fuck do
shot
I-
at Billy
fuck do
Wagner?
I need to see?
No. I said Billy Wagner was a great closer in the Major League Baseball. He played for the
Well,
Mets.
this is the
and the
son of
Phillies.
Billy Wagner.
Yeah, this is
son of
Billy Wagner's
Wagner,
son. Yeah, you can get you some old autographs too. But good egg.
Oh,
And can I just say one last time that Kevin, I really have no ill will towards you. I hope you didn't get
Ill will?
that, at all.
A little bit.
Buddy. All right,
What?
fine. I understand. I
you
did
gonna
come
send
at
him
you a little
100 text
hard,
messages?
But honestly, if I didn't like you, kid, I would say get this guy out of here. We don't want to deal with him anymore.
That is
and
true.
I don't dislike you. I think that you're not a bad person, man. I think that you got fucked up that weekend, and I think, and let's not get into our texts, but I did try to message you a little bit at the beginning, and I tried to not fucking guide you or fucking give you any sort of counsel, but I was like,
Whack.
buddy, there is a way to maybe roll out of this and not make it look so bad. And I just have to say, buddy, that I don't think you did the best job up until this point. I think tonight was a
I've been
major step for
what
you,
I've been
buddy.
doing on this show is what I don't understand what you're talking about. I've been doing this on every show that's this come up on.
That's like this little denial thing that I think you're dealing with a little bit. No
How?
offense. No offense. Listen,
I've been on other shows we've talked about it, and I've been this forthcoming, this honest. So I don't understand how this is any different.
I promised myself I would try not to get crazy on this episode, and I think that We could continue the talk some other time with Dr. Steve, but as far as I'm concerned, this topic is done for me.
Okay.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I would.
At least I'll say that to you, buddy.
I'm ready to stop talking about it.
Yeah, I'm sure. So
I just want to say one thing, in sort of in Kevin's defense, but just for everyone out there, the wise Mike Tyson once said, "We all do dumb shit when we're high," and I think that's very true. And you can't judge, blame somebody for one incident like that. If it becomes a habit, then something's got to be done. But I'm a doctor.
Exactly, and I go back to this. This is the first time this has ever happened to me. This isn't like a pattern at all. I was as surprised as OJ was.
okay,
Yeah,
really
we
quick.
all do dumb shit when we're high. That's
TK Suso says that Chad's 50. Chad's not 50. He is older
48.
than me. So what I'll do, clip this.
Clip it, cut it, tweet it.
Chad an 8-point spread. For every year that he's older than me, I will give him those points from the start, games to 21. Please, Chad, $5,000. I want to play you in basketball in a streetball game. I swear to fucking God.
Wow, 8 points per year?
8
Dude,
points.
I grew up in New York City playing basketball.
How old are you?
I'm 40. I just turned 40.
He's 8 years older. So
I'll give him on a game to 21. I will feed him just for the opportunity to play one-on-one streetball. Remember, streetball.
Okay.
I want to play one-on-one streetball against Chad Zumach, giving him 8 points, $5,000 on the line, one-on-one. His money versus mine. I think if
he's coming at me. He's talking about street ball.
If he was a what's that?
It says Stevie Lewis is coming at me talking about street ball. Wants to play 21 or something.
You know what?
Just a bunch of fucking losers.
You know what? So just
stupid
ski mask.
loser podcast.
You're brilliant, buddy. Just so there's no excuse that you just said, I would do a referee, non-differential
Who's gonna
referee.
ref? Gladwell Ape?
We could pull an actual just like basketball referee, and I would do basketball rules. And still spot him 8 points. And beat him.
should do prison rules.
Prison rules is street ball, buddy. So that's what I was getting at. Holy shit. If we went, like, you call your own fouls, I'd probably we'd have to have a paramedic on, like, the sideline ready to go, because I'd probably put him in the hospital pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. I used to play some ball.
I used to play ball in the city, and I used to, you had to know how to throw an elbow and not get caught with an elbow, and that shit was just part of the game. So I would love to teach that little punk from Ohio how we do it out here in New York City. So $5,000, Chad. Use your
on the
brawn
line
and your basketball skills, and come get some, bitch.
I will put up the now. Kevin, I'll give you one last chance to of course, pay your respects to son of Billy Wagner. Would you like to take back the things that you said about Sir Wags?
Fuck them all.
All right, Sir Wags, you know we love you. Don't listen to this fucking clown. He obviously does not respect.
Sir Wags, don't respond with some sort of video or anything.
Yeah, Wags, please don't respond
do
with anything ill will towards
Bro, you
Kevin.
made your bet on this one, buddy. We gave you a chance, and you made your own bet here, Kevin.
I don't care. Hey, you all said fucking just do it and just be yourself. I'm doing it. I'm saying fuck everybody. You don't like me, go suck my fucking dick.
Billy Wagner.
I don't care. Unfollow me, trash me, dox me. It's already happened. What else are you gonna do?
Billy Wagner's gonna,
son of Billy Wags, do the magic.
Yeah, Billy Wagner's gonna throw him in the barbecue like a magazine.
Pour
I won't see it, so what does it matter for me?
Oh, you'll see it. We're gonna open up the next show. You'll see it. You'll see it next week at 6 p.m. on Thursday.
All right.
Listen, folks, and another exclusive there. Whoever can get the caller who called into In Hot Water today that said they saw Chad at Side Splitters, not performing but hanging out. Please get that person in touch with me. Breaking news exclusive. Chad hanging around the comedy club, but no shows planned. Wonder what's going on with that. Which is fine to do, but as a guy who sells out. If you're past at more clubs than Chrissy and Gino, you would think you could get 15 minutes.
When I was desperate for stage time, I used to do that.
Yeah, but Chad doesn't talk like a desperate guy.
When I really didn't have much going on, and I didn't have like a life, and I was desperate for stage time, and I wasn't on a show, I would go hang out at a comedy club.
But were you past at more clubs than Chrissy and Gino?
No comment with that. I don't know.
I'm always
going to I love those people, so I'm not trying to,
Oh, no. I'm saying that's what Chad says all the time.
Yeah,
I love those two people as well.
Can I, really quick before we go, because I think maybe we should just get a little...
Yeah, no, I'm wrapping it up now. Do your plugs.
Please, thank you. Blunt Smoker video. We did not get a February episode out live because
Why? Gay.
One of my co-hosts got sick and he didn't want, like, we smoke a blunt and pass it around, so we would have literally got 5 people sick at once if we recorded. So we're gonna release release a pilot episode that we had recorded, and then we're gonna refilm the one we had planned for February really soon in March, so that we double you up, and then April. We're going to do a bicycle day episode. Instead of smoking blunts for our episode, we're going to take hallucinogens for April. So, got a lot of big things coming up for that. I got also this movie, Cuck Island, The Secret of Cuck Island. You go to cuckisland.com to hear more about that. We're apparently really close to closing a distribution deal on the streaming networks. So, my film that I was heavily involved in, it wasn't my film, but I was on the cast and crew, could be on Tubi in the next couple of weeks. If that happens, I'll let you guys know. I want you to see that. Please subscribe to the Ski Mask Collective YouTube channel. That is my biggest goal in life right now, is to get that boy there to 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe if you haven't. Create fake accounts and subscribe as well. That's what I'm doing. I can't say it enough. Fucking cheat to win. All right.
Listen, we don't buy. We don't buy.
And then last thing is, Tuesday, I'd like you guys to check out the BYB Podcast Network. Check out the BYB Podcast in general, the Backyard Boys. I fucking love those guys.
Good eggs.
They have me on sometimes. I've got nothing but love for that entire fucking crew, and we have mutual enemies.
Yeah, shout out Quad Father for standing up to Stancil on In Hot Water. That was a fantastic call.
I heard about that too. So yeah, just keep an eye out on Tuesday night around 7:38. There's going to be something popping off that I think everybody's going to love. So
Beautiful.
Thank you for the time, and Kevin, you're the man, buddy. Good job standing me down tonight.
Kevin, got any plugs besides the anal ones?
I know they're already securely right up my ass. Why Do I Podcast? Renamed Why Do I P-Cast?
Beautiful.
But I think it's still at Why Do I Podcast. So I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, that I'm not leaning into this. I'm trying to lean into this as much as I can and have fun with it. But I'd also would prefer to stop talking about it. So.
Sure. It's okay, bud.
I'd like to get past it. I think it's a funny thing that we can make fun of. I just don't get all the vitriol and the hate and the malicious intent that is gotten from it.
Think you don't know the meaning of. You keep using that word vitriol.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
That you
people,
think what it means,
the text
what
that
it
people
means.
They think I did this out of a on purpose, malicious intent, and I did this for some kind of.
Dude, you don't know. You were blacked out, so there is no answer.
I know how I felt about. I know how I felt about OJ, you know? And I know how I felt about OJ that day, and there was no way I would ever on purpose do that. There was no reason to do that.
Myself.
Dude, if OJ was really your boy, you would have never said nothing about the hotel. You would have kept that all down low. And it would have
I said that in response to other people. No, I said that in response to other people because the people were bringing it up.
You shouldn't have let other people get in the way of you and your
boy.
Dude,
but my relationship with OJ is already dead, so what the fuck do I care?
Bro, you fucked up.
Dude, my relationship with OJ is dead. Like I said, he jumped to the next rung of the ladder.
It shouldn't have been, and it wouldn't have been if you handled it right.
Oh, no, you're wrong there. It was dead as soon as he just completely never responded to me. You're wrong there. You're wrong there. I gave him every opportunity. I gave him every opportunity to have. I would have made it right. I would have made it right any way I could have.
You're speaking in black and white, buddy. You're speaking in black and white. You're not accepting that there's a gray area and that we all live in that gray area and that you got a bit of denial going on still, buddy. And we'll love you.
What am I denying?
All the shit that you just said is pretty fakakta, if you ask me.
What specifically? What am I denying?
That I just said that you were doing a bad move if that was really your boy by dragging this out further and by trying to place the blame now on him.
No, at the point,
deflection. That's a deflection.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
At the point where I said that, he wasn't my boy anymore.
So anyway, you're deflecting. Doesn't matter why you're deflecting. You're still deflecting, buddy. You know
I'm not deflecting, and it's explanation.
You are by trying to turn him into the demon. You're trying to demonize him for stupid reasons, and that is deflecting. You should have just been like, "Listen, OJ's the man. I fucked up. Even my response to my fuck up, and maybe someday me and him could get back from it. But right now,
it's unfixable. Fuck it."
Again, black and white situation.
And fuck him. Fuck it and fuck him.
Don't say that.
How about that? Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. A real friend would have never done what he did. He would have handled it in a friendly way.
No,
he didn't,
no,
he
no,
didn't
buddy.
handle like a friend.
No. Now you're asking a lot out of him. That you wanted him
to be a friend.
to deal
Yeah,
with
I am
some
asking a lot to be a fucking friend.
pissing
That's what I'm asking.
naked on his shit to handle that with a
That would
friendly
have been a
demeanor.
fucking hilarious
Are you
thing to
fucking
rag
a
on.
Psychopath?
That would have been a
or what?
hilarious
Holy
thing to rag
shit.
on somebody with. That would have been. It would have been something you could make fun of me to the end of to end of existence. He
He
used
wouldn't have
it.
done that. You could have moved on from it if you didn't act like a cunt about it, bud.
How did I act like a cunt about it?
How did you act? See, again, are you all right?
You don't know about any of the texts that I sent him afterwards. It was only I only became a cunt.
Style, like
I only
Ski
became
Mask.
a
I get
cunt
that.
after all the shit that he did. That's when I became a cunt. I was not a cunt the first 3 or 4 days about it.
So you've
And then
never
I
been a
saw
cunt
what he
before?
did.
You're a nice guy. You don't come off as cunty sometimes. Is that what you're saying? That you're
No, I'm
always
saying
real
I wasn't-
agreeable?
I said
'Cause
I
something he
wasn't
called you was
purposely a
disagreeable.
cunt.
And
No,
right now, you're being fucking disagreeable, bud.
I'm saying I wasn't purposely a cunt to him until 3 or 4 days later, until I saw how he handled it and how he used it
I've
to
seen you be
climb the next
disagreeable.
rung.
I've seen you be disagreeable on the air before.
Oh, I've seen
feel
you be
like-
disagreeable. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying I didn't
I've
purposely
seen you
do
be
it.
drunk on the air before too. Christmas
Oh
special.
wow, we're just stating the fucking sky is blue and the grass is green.
No,
What
it's
else
not.
is new?
That's just two little specific situations. They're not generalizations, which you're talking about. I'm talking about two small. All right. This got weird, and I'm sorry. You're
That's all
you're
right,
a
Steve.
good
Thank
boy.
you
I
so
still
much.
love you.
I
I
still
still love
love
you
you,
too, buddy.
Stevie.
I still love you. Like I feel like you're my brother, and
But you're fucking wrong.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, let's do some merch.
I'm over it.
Merch
Hey,
time.
merch time. It's
Oh my
merch time.
God. Merch
Ski
o'clock,
mask.
people. I'm telling you right now,
Ski
we're
mask
closing out the show right now.
collective.com.
We got beautiful sad Chad shirts available. We got all the shit available. Buy it or don't buy it. I really don't care, but I'm telling you, it's the best merch in the game. And fast shipping. Just ask the BYB crew, man. They got it all. They got this shit ready. They got stencil grapes. Big piece. I'm talking dicks on the shirt when you're going out in public, people. Dicks on the flops. Get the cock flops. Summer's right around the corner. Why not get these bad boys? SkiMaskCollective.com. Get there. Look, don't trash my fucking merch if you don't want it. You understand? If you want the merch, buy the merch. But don't trash the merch, because the merch, the people who do own the merch will tell you that it is the best merch that could possibly be anything susceptible to being merch, okay? Dick pillows. Get it for your grandma. Who knows?
like to sleep
This
on
shit
that.
exists. I'm talking 3-day shipping, people. I got people down in the basement right now working on this stuff. And of course, the QR code if you just want to donate to the shit, okay? Yeah. don't
Can I
do
say,
that.
if
Yeah,
Kevin
but-
had gotten drunk and had pissed on a dick pillow instead of someone else's luggage, this would have been a whole different fucking story.
You frame that shit.
Get the merch.